Hello, and welcome to the Healthiest Home. I'm Ainsley,
And I'm Gerardo.
and we're here to talk to you about things health, fitness, and relationship.
And today we're going to dive right into it. It's our health category, and really understanding why you're doing this, health journey, and why you're doing this in the first place, and coming from a healthy, inner direction. I know for myself, there was times that I was, the comparison is the thief of all joy. It's very easy to compare yourself to other fitness people and try to run their race and get discouraged when you don't, do your certain regimen and fall off your plan, and you get very mentally draining. But if you can come from a place of, this is who I am, I'm an identity person, like I am identifying with being healthy and not worrying about anybody else, and just saying, I'm going to take it one step at a time. It'll be better for your longevity and your relationship with yourself and fitness and health altogether. But
yeah, I can relate with that 100%. I had this pivotal moment, and it happened earlier this year, just thinking to myself, why do I constantly stop? Why do I keep setting these goals and coming up short? Why do I keep failing? Like, what is the common factor in all these different approaches that I've tried to take? And once you identify that, and for me, it was comparison. It's like, why I'm doing this, not for my health, not to be happy, I'm doing this because I want to look like that person, or if I finally match that beauty standard, then I'll be happy. All these things will make me happy, but when I keep falling up short, it just becomes super discouraging. And when I decided that I'm going to do that shift and be like, no, I need to learn to love who I am now. That way I can love the journey, because the journey's not going to stop. Like you said, longevity, and just not looking for a quick fix, not looking to anyone else, not doing it because they're doing it, but doing it because I want to do it for myself, for my health, and just falling in love with that process. Yeah. And it's not easy. I don't know your whole story when it comes to self-talk and body image issues. I'm sure that men have them. I've heard that.
Yeah.
But I know for me, it's been the thief of my joy for a long time, since I was like 12 years old. That's when it started. And I am now 32 and finally trying to change that.
Yeah. Well, that's a hard thing, because like with social media and ads, it's always like propagating a certain look rather than just having your own mirror of just like working your own, trying to beat yourself and trying to improve yourself just one day at a time. I know, at least for me, with the guy's perspective, I guess it's very easy to be like, I'll be like, same thing, I'll be happy when I'm very muscular, or I'll be happy when I can be faster, or I'll be happier when I have abs. But that's not the case, because you always want more and more and more. You'll never be satisfied with that physique, and you're always going to be chasing something more and more and more. Where it's like my perspective of seeing guys who are very shredded and jacked, I'm like, oh, for me to do that, I have to destroy my body and sacrifice all these things. And it's like more of a punishment for my body rather than a healthy, happy longevity thing. I was like, if I can just grind for 3 months straight and beat myself up, I'll finally hit those goals. But then
it's very tempting too. That quick fix is very, very, very tempting. And I'm struggling with that currently, with the whole, we talked about this a little bit earlier in the week, the whole calorie deficit. Like, you're not going to lose weight unless you're in a calorie deficit, and it's all over social media. And it's not like, it's a good tool. Like, it's a super good tool to use if you want to lose weight. But me coming from a background with a very intense eating disorder, it's really hard. Like, I am on the cusp. Like, I am eating as much as I'm burning. And that is, to me, super healthy right now. Like, I eat what I want. I prioritize protein. I don't restrict myself at all. So in a sense, like, I'm being mindful. I'm not just eating whatever the heck my heart desires. But I'm eating essentially what I want, as long as I'm prioritizing protein. We have our overnight oats almost every morning with our berries, and I love it. Usually have some type of chicken and rice for lunch, and that sounds boring, but the way I make it, it's not boring. And some dinners are always changing. Sometimes it's spaghetti and meatballs. Sometimes it's, again, chicken and rice, burgers. Like, it's It's good food, it's filling food, it's nutritious food, it's fueling my body, and I'm staying right there, right on the cusp of what I'm burning. And I am happy with that. But every now and again, you get that certain angle in the mirror, you see a certain way, or we take these wonderful podcast videos, and I see my little belly roll, and I think everyone's looking at that. Don't look at it, and stuff like that, you know. And I'm like, it's that little whisper, like, oh, you should cut back, like you should really start being more restrictive, and I'm just not there yet. It's not what I want right now. Like I'm feeling really good, like 6 months in, and I haven't stopped. Like I've been hitting my 4 times a week. I've been doing my non-negotiables, and I feel really good. And my body feels good for the most part. Some days it hurts, but that's besides the point. Overall, though, I'm really, really happy. And there are small, to me, maybe to you too, there's small, noticeable changes in my physique. Very minimal, but they're there. And it's because of the consistency. And I'm getting stronger, and I'm building muscle. So it's easy to say, like, oh, for the next month, let me just cut back 500 calories and I'll get these results that I want way faster. But at what cost? Yeah. It's not sustainable. And at what cost? Like, what's it going to cost me? You know, is it worth it?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I think of our routine right now. It's like, can I do this same routine until I'm 80 years old, till I'm 90 years old? You know, like, can I do this? And I know for a hot second, I was like trying to do very explosive, high intensity stuff. And I was like, well, I can do that now. Well, I pulled my hamstring. So I was like, I don't know if I can do it anymore. I'm getting to that point where there's only so much my body can take all at once. So I'm like, if I can get into a good routine where it's, you know, mobility plus weightlifting plus walking and cardio every so often, and I can do that for the next 30, 40 years and just be consistent with that, that's something I'd be really happy about. Like, not that any other type of form of exercise is bad, but like for me,
it's what works for you. And that's the key. Finding out what works for you. For you, if it is that explosive hit workouts, you 15 minutes and you're done, great. Yeah. That's wonderful. If all you want to do is go on these long walks for 2-3 hours a day, great. That's wonderful. That's a long time. It's what I know people that do it. They or go on a hike and 10 miles and come back, and they do it at 4:00 in the morning, and they whatever works for you. And that's the key. Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Is it positive? Does it have a positive impact on your health? Right. Longevity? Are you going to want to do it forever? Yeah. Kind of a thing.
Well, kind of brings me to the next point of like having a routine. So the next point was to be intentional and actually planning it. Because a lot of, at least even for myself, I was like, I'll work out later, or I'll do that at another time. I'll do it next week.
Well, we've had this shift with me going back to work.
Yeah.
And that has been a struggle for mostly you when it comes to our workout schedule. And it's finding that. So there's been a shift, and you've been pivoting, and you've been getting it in. But we talked about it, yesterday, the day before, like.
Yeah, something has to change. Right?
Something has to change because it's not because
it's too much.
Well, and you're sacrificing family time, which is not something that you want to do.
Yeah,
because you already don't see us a lot,
right?
So you don't want to sacrifice that time with the kids. So you have to figure out. I need to work out. I want to work out. I enjoy working out. Where am I going to put it in my day?
Right. Well, that's kind of the whole. I didn't even realize it how much I enjoyed. Well, I always knew I enjoyed working out in the morning.
Not always.
Well, that's true.
I had to convince you.
Well, I think about it. Where like when I was like little, like I was not little, but like when I was in middle school, kind of early high school.
Yeah.
My dad would always wake us up like super early before school and like go for a run or go do exercises. And at that age, I didn't want to wake up.
No one wants to
wake up that early. But now as an adult and having my own family and kids and work, I was like, that's the best time to work out. Get it done first thing in the morning, especially at the gym where there's nobody. Like I don't like the crowded gyms. So the whole idea of going after work where everyone else is also going is like very overwhelming for me. And you never have the
spot you want,
that you want, and you have to wait around, and then you're trying to time it, and then everybody else is also eyeing the same machine or area. So I was like, if I can get it done in the morning, but yeah, with you working and their system changing, I was like, okay, I'll do it later. And my later is always like, I have a chunk of time in the evening. But yeah, I don't like that I'm gone for so long, and I didn't
Mhm.
realize how much an hour and a half is away from kids, and you
Especially at that time in the day when it's like, okay,
were beyond crunch
breakfast,
time.
you
Yeah,
have maybe an hour to have free time with them, and then it's getting ready for bed. Not
right.
breakfast, it's dinner.
Yeah,
Dinner, free time, and then getting ready for bed. Yeah, that hour and a half you come in and it's like bedtime. So
right. Yeah. So I'm gonna. Oh, so that's the whole thing about being intentional and planning. I was
mhm,
like, okay, what days am I gonna do it? I'm gonna do it on the calendar right now.
mhm,
Okay, and like what nights? Because for me, being intentional and planning is like I got to do everything the night before. Like I don't want to do a bunch of things the same day of because I know I'm gonna forget it. And if I
mhm,
forget something and I miss something, then I'm gonna get discouraged. If I get discouraged, it's gonna be, defeating, and then
mhm.
I'm gonna fall off the boat. So the more I can do,
Or even if you do, like I feel like if I do complete the workout, that's great, and it's rewarding and all that stuff. But if I'm already discouraged, even the workout feels like, even
yeah,
though you're doing it, that's
yeah,
great, and
yeah,
always
that's
like,
true.
you
Something's
know,
better than nothing.
always celebrate that. But if you're already discouraged and having a bad day, that workout isn't always the best,
Right,
and that lingers for a little bit.
right. And then you're trying to think, okay, maybe next time I
It'll be
won't.
better,
It'll
yeah,
be better.
and it will be
Yeah, yeah.
because that happens. Stuff happens.
And that's the whole idea of being consistent. Because I know when I first kind of went for this journey, trying to comparing myself to other people, I was like, I have to do everything, all of it.
And there's so much out there. There's so
Yeah.
much information, which is great and wonderful. But yeah,
Sure.
being intentional, something's always better than nothing.
Mm-hmm. Which brings us to the next point about our relationship, what
Mhm.
we're doing. This is something we used to do pretty consistently. But then we fell off the boat, we got distracted, things happen, life happens, and we just started doing it again. And I think it's a lot of fun just hearing what you're working on. So it's about reading books together, sharing in our evening time. And it doesn't always have to be the same book like we've done in the past, which that was kind of hard for me sometimes because sometimes you'd have more time to read. So you'd be like a couple chapters ahead, but you don't want to share with me because I'm not at that chapter.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I have to find a way to catch up. But right now we're reading two separate books, and that's been fun.
Yeah.
What are your perspective? What's your perspective on the whole?
Well, I really enjoy it, and it's not even. We didn't even. I think it's funny because we didn't start doing this intentionally. We had both separately purchased books that we want to read, and now with the kids in their own room, after we put them to bed, we can stay up a little later. And I started reading my book. You started reading your book. I think my book is amazing and fascinating. It's called Let Them by Mel Robbins, and it's not sponsored. I just think you guys should all read it because it's great.
That is a good book.
It's a really good book so far. I think she's great. I love her. I listen to her podcast.
Which was fun because I feel like by you reading it and sharing every so often, I'm also reading it and having that experience, which is like, because, and I share a little bit of my book. I'm reading Disciplines of a Godly Man, and
by someone.
Somebody wrote it, and it's also a really good book. It's been very convicting, and it's been like eye-opening and a lot of reflection. And I've shared some things with you. Not that I expect you to read that book because it's directed for men.
Yeah.
But it's cool for me to share certain things, and it's like almost we're reading two books at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's been fun. We get to do that, and I love hearing your thoughts. And some that first night, every minute you're like, oh, look at this, or check this out, or hear this out. And I was like,
I basically just read the intro to you.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm trying to read. And it's been fun reading this book together because
these separate books together. It's having some reading time.
And it feels like us sharing and spending time with each other. I feel like we're constantly trying to grow and connect and share our experiences, and
well, we're so similar, and everyone points that out, like that we're so similar and that we jive so well together, and that like we're like the same person, just male and female. And I think that's one of our strengths. Even it might be weird, but I think that's one of our strengths. And I love that we both like intellectual books, and so I think it's really interesting and cool because we both pick books that add value to our life and that just bring more knowledge into our life.
Yeah.
And we share that with each other, because if I was reading a fiction book, and trying to share it with you, you'd be like not interested, or vice versa, So it's
we both tried. We tried to do a shared fiction book, and we lost within the first chapter. It was like years ago, where we're just like we're like not our vibe, Let's go.
And it's cool if it's your vibe. All for it. Love it for you, but just not our vibe. And Yeah, if I want to escape into a magical place, I'll watch a movie.
Right. That's well, yeah. It's kind of what you're doing, and like to me, it's like yeah, that's how it is for me. And I think because we're so similar, we've been together for so long. I think that's a very natural, good thing about being together and married that we're like one flesh. You know, like
Mhm.
we're one person
Mhm.
in a very healthy way. You know,
Mhm.
and we're still both striving to improve our relationship and trying to see okay how do we share our lives together because it is takes work. You know, it takes effort, it takes
Mhm.
intentionality, and being purposeful in our relationship.
Mhm.
So I hope you guys like the podcast.
Yeah, I think that's all we have for you today, guys. If you enjoyed this at all, even just a little bit, hit the buttons below, please, and we'll catch you next time.